What up, boys? We're at it again, here's another one. Setting up OBS. A lot of people struggle with this. I've messed about with OBS Studio, OBS Classic way back when that was a thing. Streamlabs OBS is that's a thing, but I'll be honest with you. OBS Studio is better than Streamlabs or Streamlabs OBS because it takes less resources, it's simpler, it's better for the user, and it has more features. Now, setting up the bit rate and the FPS and the encoder and all that stuff, that's important. And to start with, see if my VPN's enabled. Okay, my VPN's enabled, so I can't get doxxed, so that's good. So very first step you want to do is your speed. If you ain't got the good enough speed to upload, you're not gonna be able to stream. I'm sorry, it's not a thing. So first things first, speed test. That's what you want to do. You want to do a speed test. Okay, so you run your speed test. No, this ain't my original IP. I'm using a VPN. Dox it all you want. It's a VPN. It ain't gonna do anything. Mine obviously aren't that great. Sort of mid-range, 52 down. Not exactly a gigabit down up, but your download, not important. Just ignore it. That download means absolutely nothing to you. Okay. Upload speed's what you need. Now, I have 12 to 13-ish upload speed, right? Now, you never want to use the entirety of your upload speed on Twitch. Even if you could, there's a limit, but let's just say on YouTube as well. You never, ever want to use the full amount of your upload speed. Because if you do use the full amount of upload speed, whatever tasks you're doing in the background, you will not be able to do. It'll lag, it'll time out, your internet will start having issues, and OBS will start lagging out, and you'll start dropping frames. It's not good. You want to leave at least 20 to 30% of your internet upload for everything else. It's overkill, but that's just in case of variations, or if your internet drops, or if it has issues, or something like that, or maintenance happens. So you got your upload speed. Okay. Mine's 1291. So 1291, let's just say 12. Let's just say my upload's 12. So you go to output, you go to settings, you go to output, you go to stream. Okay. Now we'll do this in a minute. You choose your encoder, NVIDIA, NVENC, or X264. I recommend, if you have a NVIDIA graphics card, you use NVENC because it has little to zero impact on your FPS, which means you'll be able to game without any FPS drops. And it uses a separate part of your graphics card to encode your stuff, so it's a shame just to not use it. You might as well just use it. The quality is as good as X264 standard, Tmod as well. Now, for your bitrate, okay, I had 12.13 or 12.30 something, so that would be that, essentially. It'd be 12,000, essentially, in here. But Twitch's bitrate is maximum 6K, but if you're partnered, you can push it to 8K. But even then, that's a limited amount of people that can do it. So again, 6K bitrate, that's all you can do. That's your max, okay? So even if you had 12 up or anything like that, you can't use 12 up. So let's say you've got 6 upload on your internet, okay? You'll want to use 4500 or 4500, and that should be good enough, and that leaves you with 1.5 to play games with, which is more than enough for upload, right? Let's say 4500. Key intervals, leave it on auto, don't touch it. Your rate control, again, leave it on auto, don't touch it. Your preset, okay? On NVENC, this is what your preset's going to look like. You'll want it on this slowest, bestest quality you could possibly have, okay? Your tuning, this is up to you. If you want to have a higher quality stream, but have a bigger delay to your stream, to your chat, you click high quality. It's only like an extra 3-second delay, so it's not really that big of a difference. And I personally haven't noticed the difference with any of the other settings, but it says ultra low latency and high quality. Surely it makes a difference, right? But if you want low latency, again, you'll choose low latency or ultra low latency. It's all preference. You take your pick here what you want to do. I like to go into the middle. Multi-pass mode, again, if you want the higher quality, you're going to dual pass it. You're going to use 2 pass. But if you want to have less usage on your graphics card, maybe you have a weaker graphics card, you can leave it on quarter res or single pass. Look ahead and psycho tuning, as it says in the descriptions, enables dynamic B-frames. If enabled, it will increase visual quality by only using however many B-frames are necessary, up to maximum at the cost of the GPU utilization. And as for psycho visual tuning, enables encoder settings that optimize the use of bitrate for increased perceived visual quality, especially in situations with high motion at the cost of increased GPU. So if you're playing games that are high movement, so Valorant, Fortnite, PUBG, Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, anything that involves moving the screen around a lot, it'll just it'll try and increase the perceived, it won't increase quality, it'll increase the perceived visual quality. It makes it look good. How it works, I'll be honest, I don't even know how it works. Okay, it just makes it look good. All right, okay. So have that ticked, have look ahead ticked, and then that means you don't have to touch any of these. Just leave these two alone. So that's that done. The second important thing about your visual quality, your audio, the second best thing about streaming is audio quality. All right. Sample rate. Majority of you are going to have this on 44.1. Just leave it at 44.1 or whatever it's set at. If this doesn't match your microphone or your headset, it will start making weird, very sharp, loud noises. Okay, so just leave this alone and let it match your actual your microphone's audio thing. Which, to do that, you'll go down to your speaker icon at the bottom right. You go to sounds. In here, you'll go to recordings. You go to your microphone. You go from general to advanced, and it's whatever this is set to. If this is set to 44.100, this should be set to 44.100. If it's set to 4800, this should be set to 4800. There's no real difference between the two, so honestly, just leave them alone. Just make sure they match. That's what's important. Same with this one. Just make sure it matches all the sample rates. Otherwise, it can get weird. And I think that's all that needs to be done in here for the audio part at the moment. Video. I can't stress how important it is for this tab right here. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Okay. You cannot, and I repeat, cannot do 1080p 60 FPS with Twitch's bitrate limits without a PC that's just balling out of its mind. If you haven't got a top range PC that's overclocked, that's using the slowest preset on X264, you cannot do 1080 60. I don't care what anyone says to you, you cannot do 1080 60. There is a reason why majority streamers are on 900p or 936p, etc. And that's because there is not enough bitrate for 1080 60. You can do 1080 30, but not 1080 60. The best, my advice, you're not affiliate, not partnered, 720 60, 4500 bitrate, perfect. Perfectly fine. That's it. Perfectly fine. To do 900p, you will type in here manually 1600 by 900. That will give a 900p resolution stream. That will be the highest resolution you could possibly go at 60 FPS, and set your bitrate to 6K on 900p. Good to go. And that'll be your highest form of quality if you're affiliate or partnered, or you have transcoding enabled due to a viewer base increase. Under advanced, you are going to have to change this option right here, color range, from limited to full. That way you get the full color range on your stream and everything works perfectly fine and neat. Scroll down under sources. You want to enable browser source hardware acceleration. It will use your GPU instead of your CPU to render or to assist in rendering in the browser sources you use on your stream. Alerts, games, bitjar, anything that's 3D on your stream that uses a browser source, your GPU will then help and take a load off the CPU. You want to, if you have a very inconsistent internet speed and it dips and changes and moves a lot and it cuts out the stream, enable dynamic change bitrate to manage congestion. This feature, instead of your stream turning off, it will lower the bitrate of the stream to keep the stream up and working without cutouts. I mean, the quality will drop, but the stream will stay up. That way it will stay on, everything will be fine, and then when your internet is back and being stable, the quality will go back up then, and everything will level back out. But if you have a stable network, leave it disabled. These two options, TCP pacing and network optimizations, enable both of these. They're both good for your stream. I think that is it for the settings tab. That is it for the settings tab. Okay. Now, how to properly manage stream audio. A lot of people don't know how to do this. You'll have people that have the game audio that's peaking really bad and their mic and you can barely hear them. Okay. And this is how you do that. So in order to stop peaking from a microphone, you first got to find a good level of your, like the level of your microphone, the volume. So in here, you'll adjust this accordingly to where you feel like it sounds about right. You'll leave it at that mark and don't touch it anymore. If you go too high, it'll start peaking and getting real loud and obnoxious and crackling, and it'll be very bad. People will hate you for it. So you find a good level there. That's fine. Okay. Then you go to OBS. In OBS, when you talk, you'll see a little green bar like mine right here. And as you see, mine is peaking at about here where this bar is. Okay. If I play something in the background, let's just play music in the background. It's copyright free music, so it should be fine. Okay. You'll notice that's where it's about, where it's about sitting. It's lower than this bar. I can turn this off now, it's distracting. But it's lower than this bar. That was the peak, right? Now, if I have this down here to where this is the peak, I have voice gate on, but if I have it down here where this is the peak, then the actual song will be louder than how I am, which is not what you want. You want to be louder than your game all the time. You just don't want to be in the red up here. So you find a good mid area where you want to keep it, of where your normal talking is, and then you want to lock that in. Okay, lock it in. Can't change it. Leave it alone. Okay, this one. When it comes to this one, again, you always want your game and desktop volume lower than your mic. People want to hear you, not so much the game. Okay, enough to where they can hear the game, but not enough so it's overpowering your voice. And you do the same thing. You'll have a sound running in the background, etc. like that. You'll have a sound running in the background. It's going to play. Obviously, you don't want it up here because it's going to be overpowering the voice and you ain't going to be able to hear anything, right? That's not good. But you keep an eye on this little bar here as the sound plays. You'll bring it down. Keep bringing it down. About here is where you want it, right? There's your voice average. There's the volume average. Lock that in. Good to go. You can hear me. You can hear the song. Nothing's overpowering anything. Nothing's peaking. Nothing's bad quality. Perfect. Locked in. Don't ever touch it again. Leave it alone. So that's also, again, perfect. Now, when it comes to games, if you stream a game on OBS, okay, you want to make sure that it's the best quality. Correct. So when you add a game capture or whatever you're using for a game capture, you want to right click that source. You want to go to filters. You want to add a sharpen filter, very slight, put it up by 0.5 or 0.10. Lock it in. Color correction, again, you want to put up the brightness and the gamma and all that, the contrast, put up that by literally a fraction, just put up a tad. Because when you stream, the stream's actually darker than what you see. So if you knock that up just a tiny bit, it brings it up to what you see. And obviously bring the saturation up a bit so they get a bit better color on their screen instead of it being, ugly. And then that's done, obviously, finished, boom. And that's how you set up OBS, pretty much. I mean, there's nothing special about it. That's how you set your quality. That's how you set your audio levels. It's as simple as that. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. So, anyone else has any more tips on how to improve quality and stuff like that? Put it down below. Give me a shout. But, if you need any help, again, just hit me up in the comment. I'll help you out. Simple.